This is the Washington Times front page for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Federal prosecutors have charged disgraced cryptocurrency entrepreneur and FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried with defrauding investors and making illegal campaign contributions. The indictment, Dave Boyer reports, says Bankman-Fried played a central role in the rapid collapse of FTX and hid its problems from the public and investors. The Securities and Exchange Commission said he illegally used investors' money to buy real estate on behalf of himself and his family. The indictments rolled out as the new CEO of FTX, John Ray, told the House Financial Services Committee that the company had collapsed from shoddy management and old-fashioned embezzlement. Ray, who took over FTX last month, told the committee the collapse was one of the worst business failures he has seen, a paperless bankruptcy fueled by an utter lack of record-keeping. It's a noteworthy comment, as Ray also led failed energy company Enron following its bankruptcy in the early 2000s. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is seeking a grand jury investigation of potential wrongdoing by the manufacturers of the COVID-19 vaccine. Susan Ferricchio reports DeSantis said he expects the Florida Supreme Court will greenlight his probe. If it does, it would be the nation's first state-ordered investigation into the shots and the culpability of the two pharmaceutical giants, Moderna and Pfizer, that developed and distributed the vaccines. A spokesperson from Pfizer said the company's vaccine has saved hundreds of thousands of lives and was authorized by regulatory agencies around the world based on robust and independent evaluation of the scientific data on quality, safety, and efficacy. Would Ukraine be willing to give Russia a piece of the divided Donbas region in exchange for a guaranteed fast track to full NATO membership? That's being debated in military and national security circles as Russia and Ukraine signal they recognize their 9-month war will likely end at the negotiating table. Ben Wolfgang reports the two sides remain far apart and the prospects for a deal in the immediate future appear slim at best. The notion of peace talks seems as close now as it has arguably been since Russia invaded Ukraine in late February. Neither side is apparently on the verge of a definitive victory, with Russia running low on ammunition and Ukrainian civilians bracing for a long, difficult winter. Putting a part of eastern Ukraine on the table likely would be the fastest way to get Russia into serious negotiations, but analysts warn that such a move would set a dangerous precedent and essentially reward Russia for launching a needless, illegal invasion. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. The House Intelligence Committee is poised to launch investigations when Republicans take control of the House into the federal government's use of intelligence agencies to target Americans. Ryan Lovelace reports lawmakers are ramping up scrutiny of the national security community after a crush of reports that intelligence agencies have taken action against Americans. Likely incoming committee chairman Michael Turner declined to elaborate on specific examples of intelligence community dysfunction. One accusation, though, is that the FBI broke its rules for using investigative tools to target Americans during the Trump administration. And finally, a new study shows the onset of COVID-19 public health restrictions led to a surge in teens hospitalized for psychiatric issues. Sean Salai reports an international consortium of 27 researchers published a study this week in JAMA Network Open after analyzing data from 8 American and French children's hospitals from February 2019 to May 2021. They found that the number of teens aged 11 to 17 hospitalized for severe anxiety, depression, and suicide risk rose 14% between April 2020 and June of 2021. Most of those teens hospitalized were girls. Before and after the first COVID-19 quarantines, the study found the share of girls went from 61.5% to 68.5% of all teens that were hospitalized for psychiatric issues. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.